The modern Indian history you have to read with advent of Europeans. Advent of Europeans. Portuguese, Dutch, English, Danes, French. Portuguese, Dutch, English, Danes, French. PDEDF. The code word is PDEDF. You have to remember that English were not the first people to come to India. It is Portuguese, Dutch, English, Danes, French. Then in the entire modern Indian history, 1857 revolt. The revolt of 1857 is very important. This year marks 160 years of 1857 revolt. The year 2017 marks 160 years of 1857 revolt. V.D. Savarkar called 1857 revolt as the first war of Indian independence. V.D. Savarkar called 1857 revolt as the first war of Indian independence. Recently, historians consider that it is not 1857 revolt, it is Paiga revolt. It is Paiga revolt, P-A-I-G-A, which can be considered as the first revolt. So this year we can emphasize in prelims this topic called Paiga revolt. You have to do research on Paiga revolt. Star mark question for this year prelims, Paiga revolt. (1857) revolt is a cause and consequence of British rule in India. 1857 revolt is a cause and consequence of British rule in India. There are various causes for 1857 revolt. Economic causes, political causes, social causes, immediate causes, etc. There are various causes for 1857 revolt. Economic, political, social, immediate causes, etc. Coming to economic cause, even before the Britishers, many foreigners ruled India, but their rule is liberal towards India. They have invested the Indian money in India, Indian wealth in India. As Dadabhai Naoroji wrote in his book, Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. As Dadabhai Naoroji wrote in his book, Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. The waters of river Ganga got evaporated. The waters of river Ganga got evaporated, formed into clouds and rained in the river pool. That means Indian wealth is getting evaporated and was taken to the Britain, and the wealth is flooding the Britain. Indians are being exploited. One of the major economic reasons for 1857 revolt is economic exploitation, where India is considered as a supplier of raw material and Britain has started dumping the finished products into India. Traditional agriculture sector, artisan industry, almost all the entire industries were being exploited and condemned. There is a very famous book written by Dinabandhu Mitra called Neel Darpan. There is a very famous book written by Dinabandhu Mitra called Neel Darpan. The problems of indigo cultivators. The problems of indigo cultivators. Neel means blue. Neel Darpan, the problems of indigo cultivators. And Ramesh Chandra Dutt, R.C. Dutt, wrote a book called The Economic History of British India. R.C. Dutt, Ramesh Chandra Dutt wrote a book called The Economic History of British India. Even in that book, the entire problems of British administration in India were mentioned financially. Dadabhai Nauroji spoken about drain theory. Drain theory, many R.C. Dutt, Dadabhai Nauroji, everybody spoke. Dadabhai Nauroji emphasized on drain theory. The wealth is being drained. The wealth is being drained from India. Karl Marx told, it is the British intruder who broke the Indian spinning wheel. It is the British intruder who broke the Indian spinning wheel. Indian spinning wheel was completely broken by the British intruders. Artisans, peasants, moneylenders, good jamindars. There are many jamindars who are good towards people, unable to bear the exploitation, they want to pay the taxes on behalf of the people. They want to pay taxes on behalf of the people. You know what happened? Ashamed to beg, unable to work, they were condemned to penury. Jamindars who have ruled particular territories, they cannot work there because they are jamindars. They cannot beg there because they are jamindars. And they were condemned to penury, penniless, completely poor. They have become poor. Good jamindars and bad jamindars flourished. Moneylenders flourished. Even in tough times, famines, Britishers never remitted the taxes, never reduced the taxes. Whereas during Mughal period, when there is a tough time for the people, they are liberal towards the common man. But Britishers are not like that. This is one of the important reasons for 1857 revolt and general public feeling towards the British administration. There is a very famous constitutional expert called Lecky, historian called Lecky, L-E-C-K-Y. Lecky once told, when a troop of British men with Indian officials, with Indian assistants, enter into any village, the villages were abandoned, shops were shut, doors were closed, because never before the native Indians experienced such a tyranny. Never before the native Indians experienced such a tyranny. Once was so skillful, exercised with so much of dexterity that rulers are for the people and people are for the rulers. But unfortunately, it is not the case with the British administration in India. People started hating the system. This is a major reason for which has to leave India at the end by 1947. Coming to social causes of 1857 revolt. Social causes of 1857 revolt. Any social reform, either for progression should come from within the people. Any social reform for the good of the people should come for the people, from the people. But Britishers started enforcing laws on the people. Sati abolition. William Bentinck abolished sati. William Bentinck abolished sati. Child marriage reduction of age of child marriages. And then Widow Remarriage Act 1856. Widow Remarriage Act 1856. Religious Disabilities Act. Earlier in India, if a person converts from Hindu religion to other religion, he will be outcasted. He won't be allowed to enter into village, and his property rights will be forfeited. He is not allowed to succeed his father's property or ancestors' property if he converts his religion. But William Grant, British parliamentarian, once announced in the parliament. William Grant, British parliamentarian, once announced in the parliament. It is a divinely ordained mission of British administration in India to evangelize Indians. It is a divinely ordained mission of British administration in India to evangelize Indians. One of the important aspects is evangelization, to spread Christianity into India. For that end, Religious Disabilities Act was passed, wherein which, though a person converts into other religion from Hinduism, he is allowed and entitled to hold the father's property and ancestors' property. This irritated Indians. And at that time in India, if a person crosses the seas, he is considered as outcast. If a person crosses the seas, he is considered as outcast. And according to Bengal Services Enlistment Act, all Indian soldiers, whenever they were asked to, should work abroad. They have to cross the seas. But at that time, crossing the seas means you are going out of Karma Bhumi. India is considered as Karma Bhumi. The other part of the world is called Bhoga Bhumi. If a person puts his feet into other land, he is considered as a man who have done some sin. This also irritated Indians. Many superstitions were questioned. Thuggary was abolished. By William Bentinck again. Sleeman was a general who abolished thugs. So many changes were made, though for good, but Indians cannot digest it. The reason is, as I told you, social reform should come from within. You cannot enforce social reforms on the people. If you start enforcing something, people start hating you. The same thing happened in India also. People are so particular about their sentiments. Then came political issues. Doctrine of lapse by Dalhousie. Doctrine of subsidy alliance by Wellesley. Doctrine of lapse by Dalhousie. Doctrine of subsidy alliance by Wellesley. Doctrine of ring fencing. Doctrine of effective control. Doctrine of ring fencing. Doctrine of effective control. Through various doctrines, they started annexations of the territories. Then the princely states got annoyed. And they don't want this. As you all know, Satara is the first state to get annexed. Satara, 1848. Jaitpur and Sambalpur, 1849. Jaitpur and Sambalpur 1849. Bhagat 1850. Udaipur 1852. Jhansi 1853. Jhansi 1853. And these are the important things. According to NCERT data, the data is different. Satara 1848. Sambalpur 1850. Udaipur 1852. Nagpur 1853. Jhansi 1854. This is an important question. What are the states that were annexed? In which year they were annexed? This is the data which I have given from NCERT. Satara 1848. Sambalpur 1850. Udaipur 1852. Nagpur 1853. Jhansi 1854. Jhansi 1854. This is how annexations were done. So, doctrine of lapse propounded by Dalhousie. If the state, the empire have no hereditary heir, their paramountcy will lost, and after the death of the king, the territory will go to the British Empire. This is the scenario. So, people started revolting. And apart from that, there are many causes, immediate cause. You all know, greased cartridges made out of cow and pig fat. And atta, the wheat flour. It was told that the wheat flour was mixed with bone dust of pigs. So all these things got irritated. Finally, 1857 revolt broke out. 1857 revolt is not the first revolt in India. You have Mangal Pandey from Barakpur, who revolted. 34th Native Infantry, Barakpur, Mangal Pandey. You also have Vellore revolt in Vellore. But in its significance, 1857 revolt had a wide reach and a wide impact. That is the reason why 1857 revolt is considered as the first war of Indian independence. There are many storm centers in the revolt. To tell it briefly, you have Jhansi Lakshmi Bai. You have in Lucknow, Begum Hazrat Mahal and her son Birjis Qadir. Nana Sahib and Tantia Tope from Nagpur. Kunwar Singh from Arra, Bihar. And in Delhi, General Bakht Khan. They have made Bahadur Shah II, the Mughal emperor, a symbolic leader. But the troops were led by General Bakht Khan in Delhi. The revolt was strongly suppressed, severely suppressed. Nicholson and Hudson suppressed it in Delhi. General Nicholson and Hudson suppressed it in Delhi. Jhansi Lakshmi Bai was killed by Hugh Gross. Remember, Jhansi Lakshmi Bai had a rose flower in her plate. Jhansi Lakshmi was killed by Begum Hazrat Mahal, was hunted out by Campbell. Begum Hazrat Mahal was hunted out by Campbell. Remember, in Mahal there is a camp. So Campbell had a camp in the Mahal. Begum Hazrat Mahal went back and took refuge in Nepal, and she died in Nepal. In Benares, the revolt was condemned, suppressed by General Neil. In Benares, The revolt was suppressed by General Neil. Havelock, Outram are also the great officers who participated in the revolt. The revolt was successful. The revolt was successful and Britishers succeeded in controlling the revolt. You all know we have a recent movie called Manikarnika. Manikarnika is a name of Jhansi Lakshmi Bai. Original name of Jhansi Lakshmi Bai. And Tantia Tope assisted Nana Sahib in Nagpur first. Tantia Tope assisted Nana Sahib first. And after that he also assisted Jhansi Lakshmi Bai. In fact, the last rites of Jhansi Lakshmi Bai were conducted by Tantia Tope. That was a fate that has happened in India. And why did 1857 revolt failed? Why did 1857 revolt fail? 1857 revolt failed for many reasons. Number one, the extreme north, the entire south, the northeast have not touched by the revolt. Revolt have not entered into South India, Northeast India and the entire North India, only Northwest India. Not even 1/4 of India is covered. Not even 1/4 of India is covered with the revolt. And all the leaders of the revolt acted for their own interest, for their own empire interest. For example, Nana Sahib worked only for Kanpur, Nagpur. Tantia Tope worked for the small places. Jhansi Lakshmi Bai for her own empire. Begum Hazrat Mahal for Oudh. Except that, they don't have any all India or pan India ideology. They worked for their own empire, for their own end, for their own interest. That's one of the reasons. And they have very outdated weapons, whereas Britishers have advanced technology and weapons. And in their commitment and valor and their military tactics, the British officers are simply outsmarted the Indian warriors. Indian warriors are very low in their strength in working together. There is no coordination. There is no proper coordination and communication. Last but not the least, the major factor for the failure of the revolt. The major factor for the failure of the revolt. Some Jamindars and Rajas and princely states acted as the breakwaters of the storm. Some Jamindars and Rajas of the princely states acted as the breakwaters of the storm. The Scindias, for example, the Scindias, they have supported the Britishers' side. They have not supported the Indians. For all these reasons, 1857 revolt failed. But the consequences of the revolt are immense. The consequences of the revolt are immense. Number one, the East India Company's political administration have come to an end. The East India Company's political administration have come to an end. Britishers stopped political annexations and occupations. They have started divide and rule policy because a strong Hindu-Muslim unity is felt in 1857 revolt. A strong Hindu-Muslim unity is felt in 1857 revolt. So they have started divide et impera, divide and rule policy after 1857 revolt. British Queen started administering the country. India will be ruled by the British Queen directly. No more East India Company political annexations into India and political occupations into India. It is the British Queen which directly entered into the Indian administration. She will be ruling through Viceroy. Viceroy and Executive Council of Viceroy. Lord Canning is the first person to be named as Viceroy. Lord Canning is the first person to be named as Viceroy. This is the core of 1857 revolt, what all I told. After 1857 revolt, in modern Indian history, you have to focus on socio-religious reforms movements. Socio-religious reforms movements. In that, Akshay Kumar Datta is very famous. Then you have to read about the first person is Rajaram Mohan Rai. Rajaram Mohan Rai is also called as the father of Indian Renaissance. Rajaram Mohan Rai, the father of Indian Renaissance. He was a racialist. He was a crusader against Sati. He was a crusader against Sati. He wrote 2 books. Gift to Monotheists and Precepts of Jesus. Gift to Monotheists and Precepts of Jesus. He was a man who founded Brahma Sabha. Later on it became Brahma Samaj. He was a person who founded Brahma Sabha. Later on it became Brahma Samaj. To counter Rajaram Mohan Rai's Brahma Sabha, which is modern and progressive, Dharma Sabha was started by Radhakant Deb. Dharma Sabha was started by Radhakant Deb to protect the orthodox elements in the Hindu society. To counter Brahma Sabha, Dharma Sabha was started by Radhakant Deb to counter the orthodox elements, to protect the orthodox elements in the Indian society, in the Hindu society. Dharma Sabha was started. So, the opposite organization which was against Rajaram Mohan Rai, who started Brahma Sabha, was Dharma Sabha. And we have Ramakrishna Math, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and Swami Vivekananda. These 2 people are very crucial in reforms movements. Swami Vivekananda's 1893 Chicago speech is also important. Then there are movements like self-respect movement in Tamil Nadu. Self-respect movement in Tamil Nadu started by E.V. Ramaswamy Nayakar, also called as Periyar. E.V. Ramaswamy Nayakar, also called as Periyar. Justice movement. Justice movement in Tamil Nadu again started by Tyagaraja Chettiar, Modaliyar and Nair. Basically Tyagaraja Chettiar and Modaliyar. Justice movement. We have Jyotiba Phule. In Maharashtra, Jyotiba Phule. Jyotiba in Maharashtra. Who started Satya Sodak Samaj, Truth Seekers Society. Satya Sodak Samaj, Truth Seekers Society. His wife Savitri Bai Phule, who got educated by him, was also a social reformer. Jyotiba Phule wrote a book called Gulamgiri. Jyotiba Phule wrote a book called Gulamgiri. Social Service League was started by N.M. Joshi. Social Service League was started by N.M. Joshi. Servants of India Society. Servants of India Society was started by Gopalakrishna Gokhale. Servants of India Society was started by Gopalakrishna Gokhale. Mr. Bala Jambedkar. Mr. Bala Shastri Jambedkar started a weekly magazine called Darpan. A weekly magazine called Darpan. Pradhana Samaj started by Atmaram Panduranga, and also in some textbooks Keshav Chandra Sen, basically by Atmaram Panduranga. Pradhana Samaj basically started by Atmaram Panduranga. In textbooks it was written that it was Keshav Chandra Sen. According to the question you can answer. According to the question you can answer. And very famous social reformer during that period was Henry Vivian Derozio. Henry Vivian Derozio, who started Young Bengal movement. Henry Vivian Derozio, who started Young Bengal movement. Derozio died at a very young age. He died at a very young age. But his immense in the youth, his significance, his ideology in the youth is very immense. David Hare, we have one more person called David Hare. He is a watchmaker from Dutch. He also influenced many Indians. David Hare, a watchmaker from Dutch. He also influenced many Indians. And among all, we have a son among the stars called Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, a man behind women education, a man behind Widow Remarriage Act 1856. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, a social reformer, a man. Young Bengal movement, Henry Vivian Derozio. Henry Vivian Derozio. Derozio was a lecturer, died at a very young age, but he influenced many young people. The young people who followed Derozio are called Derozians. The young generation people who followed Derozio are called Derozians. And I also discussed about David Hare, who was a Dutch watchmaker. David Hare, who was a Dutch watchmaker. And Pradhana Samaj, as far as my knowledge goes, it is Atmaram Panduranga. In some of the textbooks it is written that Keshav Chandra Sen. Anyhow, according to the question you can answer in the prelims paper. We have one more organization called Arya Samaj. Swami Dayananda Saraswati, who gave a call, go back to Vedas. Go back to Vedas. Swami Dayananda Saraswati. He wrote a book called Satyartha Prakash. He wrote a book called Satyartha Prakash. Remember Arya Samaj also, which is important for the exam. Apart from that, we have Gopal Hari Deshmukh. Gopal Hari Deshmukh, whose nickname is Lokahitavadi. Whose nickname is Lokahitavadi. Gopal Hari Deshmukh. We also have C.F. Andrews, who was called as Dinabandhu. C.F. Andrews was called Dinabandhu. He was called as Dinabandhu by Mahatma Gandhi. Don't get confused between Deshabandhu and Dinabandhu. Chittaranjan Das. C.R. Das is Deshabandhu. C.F. Andrews is Dinabandhu. And Social Service League, as I told you, N.M. Joshi. Narayan Malhar Joshi. Social Service League. Seva Sadan, started by B.M. Malabari. Seva Sadan was started by B.M. Malabari. There is an interesting fact about B.M. Malabari. A very famous social reformer who started Seva Sadan was a person behind. He was a person behind Age of Consent Bill 1891. Age of Consent Bill 1891. He wanted to increase the age for marriage. At that time, it was increased to 12 years. Okay, Age of Consent Bill 1891. Child marriages are very common in India. Even today, in every 3 girl children, 1 girl child is married before 18 years. At that time, just think, B.M. Malbari was a man behind Age of Consent Bill 1891. We have Dev Samaj, started by Shiv Narayan Agnihotri. Dev Samaj started by Shiv Narayan Agnihotri. And Radha Swami movement, started by Tulsi Ram. Radha Swami movement, started by Tulsi Ram. And before concluding the reform movements in Hinduism, you have a famous person from Kerala, Sri Narayana Guru. SNDPY movement, Sri Narayana Dharma Paripalana Maha Mandapam movement, was initiated by Sri Narayana Guru. Very famous in Kerala. Apart from that, we have Madhavan, Kellappan in temple entry movements. Keshavan, Madhavan, etc. are in temple entry movements. So, don't think that temple entry movements are only for Trupti Desai. We also have temple entry movements long back. As you all know, B.R. Ambedkar also led a Kalaram temple entry movement. Kalaram temple entry movement. We have many temple entry movements in India. Remember? And last but not the least, the star mark question, UPSC's most favorite question is Theosophical Society. Theosophical Society is the UPSC's most favorite question. In the year 2004, when I wrote my first exam, I know 2 sentences about Theosophical Society, but I managed to write, I remember 10 marker or 15 marker answer. Again, I think in 2013 or 14, the same question have come in the exam. In mains, twice. In prelims, twice or thrice, this question was asked. Star mark question for UPSC is Theosophical Society. Initially, it was started in America. Later on, the headquarters were shifted to Chennai, Adayar. Madam Blavatsky, Colonel Olcott. Madam Blavatsky, Colonel Olcott are the famous proponents of Theosophical Society. After that, Annie Besant entered, George Arundel entered, and Jiddu Krishnamurti entered. They wanted to do research in Indian philosophy, karma, reincarnation, and they believe that the reincarnation of soul exists actually. This is Theosophical Society, the most probable question in prelims and mains, which was started by Madam Blavatsky, Colonel Olcott, initially in USA, then came to Chennai, Adayar. At headquarters was shifted to Chennai, Adayar. Apart from these, all these movements, you have in Muslim, Aligarh movement started by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. In Muslim, Aligarh movement was started by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, which is a progressive movement for the development of Muslims who are backward at that time. For the development of Muslims who were backward at that time, called Aligarh movement. Apart from that, we have Wahhabi movement started by Shah Waliullah. Wahhabi movement started by Shah Waliullah. It is a revivalist movement. The socio-religious reforms movements in India, either in Hinduism or Muslim or in Islam, are divided into two, reformist and revivalist. Reform means progressive movements to bring a positive change. Revivalist means bring back the orthodox elements. Wahhabi movement is a revivalist movement, whereas Aligarh movement is a progressive movement. Aligarh movement was started by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Wahhabi movement was started by Shah Waliullah. Okay, next. Titumir movement was started by Mir Nathar Ali. Titumir movement was started by Mir Nithar Ali. N-I-T-H-A-R. Mir Nithar Ali. This movement is against the British landlords. Titumir movement is against the British landlords who oppressed Muslim peasants. Faraizi movement, F-A-R-A-I-Z-I. Faraizi movement started by Haji Sharaitullah. Faraizi movement started by Haji Sharaitullah, and Haji's son Dudu Mian continued the movement. Faraizi movement started by Haji Sharaitullah and his son Dudu Mian continued the movement. And Ahmadiyya movement, a progressive movement again in Muslim. Ahmadiyya movement, a progressive movement. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad is the founder of the movement. Very famous person in the movement is Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. Ahmadiyya movement, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. Next, Deoband movement. Deoband, D-E-O-B-A-N-D. Deoband movement, again basically an orthodox movement. Deoband movement, basically an orthodox movement. Gangohi and Nanotavi are the famous proponents of the movement. Gangohi and Nanotavi are the famous proponents of Deoband movement. These are the very famous Muslim movements in India. Okay, all these movements are put together socio-religious reform movements. All these movements are put together socio-religious reform movements. Next come. Next topic is the struggle, the freedom struggle. What happened? What is Indian nationalism? At the advent, we have to remember a fact. There is nothing like the feeling of Indian nation and particular Indian integrity before the advent of Britishers into India. India was divided into hundreds of princely states. In the north, they used to speak Urdu, Hindi. In the south, Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu. India have lot many languages. There is no common language. English, the introduction of English have become a very good thing for Indians. The English have become lingua franca in India. The English have become lingua franca in India. Lingua franca means two persons having two different mother tongues can speak a third language which is common to them both, which both of them can understand. For example, think that my mother tongue is Hindi, your mother tongue is Malayalam. We both are communicating in English. The two different people having two different mother tongues communicating in the next language which is not their mother tongue is called lingua franca. English have become lingua franca in the country. The newspapers, particularly the regional newspapers, played a great role. The writings of great writers, as I told you, Neel Darpan, Dinabandhu Mitra, Bharata Durdasa, written by Bhartiyendu Harishchandra. Bharata Durdasa, a book written by Bhartiyendu Harishchandra, and many patriotic songs. Vande Mataram, All these songs have awakened the spirit of nationalism and patriotism in Indians. And modern means of communication and transport, the telegraph, the railway line, also increase the communication. So, it is not that Britishers have completely destroyed India. It is the Britishers who are indirectly, unintentionally have become a reason for Indian nationalism in India. Here comes 1885. 1885, the formation of INC. 1885, the formation of Indian National Congress. Before the formation of INC, are there any associations? Is the INC is the first association in India, or do we have any other important associations in India before the formation of INC? This is the question which regularly we have to answer. There are many associations before the formation of INC in India, which generally we don't care, but very important for exam. Very important for exam. INC was formed in December 1885. Indian National Congress was formed in December 1885. Before that, there are many important associations which are important for prelims, if not for mains. If not for mains. Okay. Number 1. East India Association, Dadabhai Naoroji. East India Association, Dadabhai Naoroji. The Indian League, Sisir Kumar Ghosh. The Indian League, Sisir Kumar Ghosh. The Indian Association of Calcutta, the Indian Association of Calcutta. Surendranath Banerjee Anand Mohan Bose, the Indian Association of Calcutta. Surendranath Banerjee Anand Mohan Bose. Pune Sarvajanik Sabha, Pune Sarvajanik Sabha, M.G. Ranade. Pune Sarvajanik Sabha, M.G. Ranade. Bombay Presidency Association, Bombay Presidency Association. Firozshah Mehta, Badruddin Tyabji. Firozshah Mehta, Badruddin Tyabji, K.T. Telang. Firozshah Mehta, Badruddin Tyabji, K.T. Telang. Madras Mahajana Sabha, Madras Mahajana Sabha. Anandacharyalu, Veeraraghava Charyar, Subramaniam Iyer. Anandacharyalu, Veeraraghava Charyar, Subramaniam Iyer. Madras Mahajana Sabha. These are the famous pre-INC associations formed in India, which are important for prelims. You have to by heart the association names and their founders, which all I have told just now, they are important. INC was formed in 1885. 1885 December. When it was formed, a theory was in vogue called safety valve theory. You might get a prelims question. The formation of INC in 1885 was because of safety valve. To ventilate the grievances of Indians, they expected that we need a safety valve. INC was founded by A.O. Hume, the British civil servant. INC was founded by A.O. Hume. Every year, the most probable question in civil services is INC sessions and their presidents. INC sessions and their presidents. Up to 1947. They won't ask about Rahul Gandhi, don't worry. INC sessions and their presidents up to 1947. Session, president and important declarations. One question is guaranteed, which we are going to discuss in GS classes. One question is guaranteed from that area. Coming back again. It was said that Lord Dufferin, who was the Governor General during the formation of INC, Lord Dufferin, who was the Governor General of India during the formation of INC, told, INC is a microscopic minority. Who called INC as microscopic minority? Lord Dufferin. Lord Dufferin, important prelims question. Lord Dufferin called INC as a microscopic minority. The first president of INC was W.C. Banerjee, and the first session was held at Bombay. The first president was W.C. Banerjee, and the first session was held at Bombay. Coming back again, from 1885 to 1905, from 1885 to 1905, the phase of Indian freedom struggle is called moderate phase. From 1905 to 1920, from 1905 to 1920, the phase of Indian freedom struggle is extremist phase. From 1920 to 1947, the phase of Indian freedom struggle is Gandhian phase. You have to prepare Indian freedom struggle, Indian national movement in 3 phases. First phase is moderate phase, second phase is extremist phase, third phase is Gandhian phase. Motilal Nehru, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Dadabhai Naoroji, Firoz Shah Mehta, they are all considered as moderates. They believed in PPP, pay, petition, protest. Pray, petition, protest. Also called as press, platform, periodical representations. Also called as press, platform, periodical representations. They are all elitist educated, high profile families, lawyers, professors, journalists, etc. They are all English speaking people. They belong to a same club, English speaking club. They believed in British sense of justice. They never asked anything extreme. They never asked Britishers to go out of India. They want only reforms, like participation of Indians in administration, increasing the age in civil services, as we are all asking now, increasing the age in civil services, and simultaneous conduct of exams in England and India. These are the few demands, very few demands of the moderates in the moderate phase. They want some sort of responsible government. They want some sort of responsible government. They look very small, but extremists criticize them that moderates' mendicant methods have made the Indian freedom struggle lagging, have made the Indian freedom struggle dormant. The moderates' mendicant methods have made the Indian freedom struggle dormant. But I can say, if moderates would have been adopted extremist methods and asked the Britishers to go out of India, Indian freedom struggle would have been died a premature death. Indian freedom struggle would have died a premature death. The reason is, the circumstances have not ripened at that time. The moderates cannot muster the mass strength. That is a nascent stage of freedom struggle. In a nascent stage, if you ask for extreme demands, can you survive? No. But extremists say moderates' methods are very mendicant. They believe in constitutional methods. They believe in non-violent methods. They believe in peaceful requests. They believe in petitioning. It's good in their era. Should not judge in a different perspective. After moderate phase, we have entered into extremist phase. Before going into the moderate extremist phase, you have to know about 3 important governor generals: Lytton, Ripon, Dufferin. And You should also know Lord Curzon. Lytton means in the Indian freedom struggle, we have to remember him in a negative sense. Lytton means negative sense. The reason is we have gagging acts, arms control acts. Most of the negative legislations against Indians were brought by Lytton. At least one question we can expect from Lytton's administration. Ripon is considered as good person, also called as father of local self-governments in India. Lord Ripon is considered as good person. And Dufferin, again a tough person, who called INC as microscopic minority. During this period, one regular question in prelims is Ilbert Bill controversy. Ilbert Bill controversy. The controversy goes like this. English judges can try Indian cases also, but Indian judges cannot try English cases. English judges can try Indian cases, but Indian judges cannot try English cases. Ilbert Bill keeps the Indian judges on the same footing like English judges. Ilbert Bill keeps the Indian judges on the same footing like English judges. So, in British there are a lot of protests against this bill. This bill is important for exam. Ilbert Bill is important for exam. Coming to Curzon, very strong man. Once a question was asked, I think in 2004 itself. Compare and contrast the personalities of Jawaharlal Nehru versus Curzon. In the modern India, in GS, UPSC's most favorite question is comparing the personalities, like Subhash Chandra Bose and Gandhi, which was asked in 2016. They may ask Tagore and Mahatma Gandhi. They might ask Nehru and Curzon. They might ask Annie Besant. Annie Besant is the most favorite question again. Okay, so Curzon. Lord Curzon was the man behind Bengal partition. Lord Curzon was the man behind Universities Act 1904. At that time, universities have become the breeding grounds for revolutionary activities. It's the beginning stage, budding stage of revolutionary activities. A commission was appointed to study about the universities called Rayleigh Commission. Based on the Rayleigh Commission, Indian Universities Act was passed in 1904. The education development of British India. The development of education in British India is an important topic which I will cover in GS. Very important topic. It will take 2 hours. Coming back again. You have 1905. The extremist phase started. Lal, Bal, Pal, the trio. Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal. Lal, Bal, Pal. In 1907, Surat split. 1907, Surat split, where moderates, extremists divided. Moderates, extremists got divided for various reasons. One reason is extremists wanted the Swadeshi movement, which was started after the partition of Bengal, to take the movement throughout India. They want to extend the Swadeshi movement, which was started after the partition of Bengal throughout India. But moderates wanted to confine it only to Bengal. Moderates wanted to confine the Swadeshi movement only to Bengal. The song Amar Sonar Bangla, which was the Bangladesh national anthem today, was written by Rabindranath Tagore during this movement called Swadeshi movement. There are many newspapers started in Bengali. Sanjeevani, Hitavadi, Bengali during Swadeshi movement. October 16th, 1905 is a black day in India. Bengal was partitioned. October 16th, 1905. Because of all these reasons, in Surat, split happened between moderates and extremists. And this is called the famous Surah split. They only met again in 1916. The moderates and extremists reunited in 1916 again, not before that. 1916 is a landmark year in the Indian history. One is Lucknow Pact. Lucknow Pact between Hindus and Muslims. Muslim League and INC Lucknow Pact. The same 1916 moderates extremist reunion. Annie Besant played a great role in uniting moderates and extremists. Annie Besant played a great role in uniting moderates and extremists. And you have Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Sarojini Naidu during Lucknow Pact called Muhammad Ali Jinnah the ambassador of Hindu-Muslim unity. Sarojini Naidu during Lucknow Pact called Muhammad Ali Jinnah the ambassador of Hindu-Muslim unity. Such a great role was played by Ali Jinnah during Lucknow Pact to unite INC and Muslim League. In this extremist phase, it slowly entered into revolutionary activities also, sporadic revolutionary activities. Here comes various great personalities. Veer Savarkar from Maharashtra, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, who organized Ganapati festival, Shivaji festivals. Tilak called, Swaraj is my birthright, let us have it. Swaraj is my birthright, let us have it. From Punjab, Lala Lajpat Rai, also called as Punjab Kesari, a man behind the Punjab National Bank also. He has a friend called Ajit Singh. Ajit Singh in Punjab started Bharat Mata Society. Lala Lajpat Rai and Ajit Singh are very good friends. In Punjab, Ajit Singh started Bharat Mata Society. Ajit Singh has a young nephew at that time. His name is Bhagat Singh. Remember, Bhagat Singh killed Sanders to take a revenge on Lala Lajpat Rai's killing. Because Ajit Singh and Lala Lajpat Rai are very good friends. Ajit Singh is uncle of Bhagat Singh. Ajit Singh started Bharat Mata Society. And Bengal, Barendra Kumar Ghosh, the brother of Arvindo Ghosh. Bhupendranath Datta, the brother of Narendranath Datta. Arvindo Ghosh, Ghosh, Bose, most of them are in Bengal. They started revolutionary activities. Anushilan Samiti. Anushilan Samiti was started. All these things are from India. Abroad, if you see, in London there is a very famous person called Shyamji Krishnavarma. In NCERT book you can see his photograph also. In old NCERT, I don't know whether it is in new or not. You can see his photograph. He started India House in London. He started training all terrorists in London. Udham Singh, who killed Dyer. Udham Singh, Madan Lal Dhingra, they were all trained there. Coming to Berlin, Germany, Madam Bikaji Kama also comes from there. We cannot equate her in terrorist activity, but still Madam Bikaji Kama. And you have Virendranath Chattopadhyay, very famous from Berlin, who started Berlin Committee. Virendranath Chattopadhyay. Coming to USA, San Francisco, Ghadar Party, Lala Hardayal, G.D. Kumar, Sohanlal Bakna. There are very famous Ghadar activists. The most important question is, how did the name Ghadar have come? The name Ghadar have come from a magazine called Ghadar. They have started a magazine called Ghadar. Most of the Ghadarites are Sikh community. They are from Sikh community. At that time, many Sikhs went to Canada for semi-skilled, unskilled works. And Ghadar party revolves around Sikh community, most of them, if not all. The very famous incident in Gadar movement, which every year we can expect a question. From this moment, every year we can expect a question, is Kommagatta Maru movement. Kommagatta Maru ship incident. Star mark question for prelims last year and this year. Last year it have not come, I think. Kommagatta Maru. There is a ship which started from India to Canada, and the British authorities in Canada at that time have not allowed the ship to enter into waters, and 90% of the passengers in the ship, sailors in the ship, are from Sikh community. The ship was sent back to India from Vancouver. The people does not want to deboard the ship. Issue erupted. Many people died in the ship with the lathi charge. And 1.5 years back, the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said sorry for the incident. This is called the famous Kommagatta Maru incident, and Gadar party want to take a vengeance on this incident. So Kommagatta Maru incident is revolving around, it has revolved around Gadar party. Okay, so you have in abroad, you have London, you have Berlin, and then you have Gadar party in San Francisco. All these activities are also equally important. And in the revolutionary terrorism, you have many people like Bina Das, who tried to kill the chancellor who is giving degree to her at a point blank. Bina Das wanted to kill her chancellor, a British official, at the point blank. But the mission failed. You have Surya Sen from Chittagong, a hero about whom you have to read in the book, a great hero. Surya Sen, his assistant and a collaborator was Kalpana Dutt. We have Jadonong, again a famous fighter. Jadonong. We have Rani Gaidinlu, who was also called as Rani of Nagas by Jawaharlal Nehru. Rani Gaidinlu. We have two important persons. Unfortunately, the plan missed. Khudiram Bose, Prafulla Chekki. They wanted to kill a British official. Kingsford. They have thrown a bomb. The bomb went and struck two innocent English ladies, Miss and Mrs. Kennedy. Khudiram Bose and Prafulla Chekki. And we have HSRA, later became HSRA, Hindustan Socialist Republican Army. And Bhagat Singh was also the famous proponent for that. One of the mass wing of Bhagat Singh and his followers is Bharat Navjavan Sabha. Here, 2 years back, I read a very beautiful article in The Wire. The article is about a character called Leelavati. Bombing on Lord Hardinge in 1911. Kindly read in the Google, The Wire, Leelavati, Lord Hardinge. You just tell me by tomorrow, what is this Leelavati character? Leelavati, Lord Hardinge and bombing.